Americans normally think of a ghetto as a section of a large city that is run down, dilapidated, rat-infested slum, inhabited by one ethnic group that has been forced to live there because of discrimination or institutionalized racism. In former times in Europe, ghetto was the term for a walled-off section of the city where the Jews were forced to live separate from the Christians according to laws of the city. The word ghetto derives from the name of an area in the city of Venice where the city's foundries were located. In the Venetian dialect, a foundry was known as a ghetto, which meant a workshop or factory. This island had previously been the area of the Ghetto Nuvio, or new workshops. After the Jews were expelled from Spain in 1492 and from Portugal in 1497, many of them settled in Venice. In 1516, a city decree forced the Jews of Venice to live in a small island with only 2 access points, which were sealed off at sunset. Because of overcrowding and isolation, the ghettos usually turned into slums. However, even before the word ghetto came to use, the Jews, particularly in Poland, were confined to walled-off sections of the city where they lived. In 1492, the Jews of Krakow in Poland were put into a walled-off section after they were accused of setting fires in the city. There were never any walled-off Jewish ghettos in the Old Reich, also known as the Old German Empire.
There were many elements of the Jewish ghetto. These elements include physical barriers, racism, lack of money, people smuggling goods, dense population with tall apartment buildings with very small rooms, a dirty environment, starvation and malnutrition, disease, isolation, and Jewish police and Nazi soldiers. It is important to learn about these elements because life in the ghetto was very harsh. Imagine living in a place with these conditions. Many people struggled when it came to getting the things essential in living. This is substantial because of the amount of people living in this condition. Many people use stereotypes when talking about the American ghetto. Some words people think about is black, poor, violence, gangsters, rap, hip-hop, rape, profanity, single moms, unsanitary, theft, prostitution, small house and apartment buildings, guns, and drugs. These stereotypes may be apparent in some ghettos, but it doesn't apply to all. Not all ghettos are made up of African Americans. Some ghettos are made up of different ethnic groups.
Is it a personal choice or societal pressure to live in the ghetto? It can be both. Some people do choose to live in the ghetto, possibly because they have a special connection to that ghetto. Maybe they grew up there or find the area interesting because of its history or significance. Other people are pressured into staying in the ghetto. Some reasons people are pressured to stay is because they have family in the ghetto. This is the most common reason people have to stay. Another reason is because of drugs. They could be addicted to drugs. Gang activity could stop someone from leaving the ghetto. People could get death threats for leaving for whatever reason. They can both be correct because some people choose to live there and some people are pressured. It is rarely both in the same person. Some people see the ghetto as a bad place. Some see it as a good place. It's all about perspective. What are the elements of American ghettos and why are they significant? High crime rates. Ghettos have some of the highest crime rate areas, making it an undesirable place to live. Segregation is another element of the ghetto. It's significant because it is usually what creates violence in the ghetto. It creates gangs and street pride as well. Isolation is a big element of an American ghetto too. Ghettos create artificial barriers that impede critical opportunities for trade and the exchange of beliefs and ideas. Isolation deprives ghetto residents of the good parts of living in an urban setting.
Learning about the ghetto is important because ghetto is a culture. Because it is a culture, it is important to learn how things work in a ghetto and where they all originated. When we learn about it, we can learn how to prevent a ghetto from being constructed, or we can learn to embrace it, or just have a better understanding about it. Also, we could learn how to keep people and families out of the ghetto, and in learning about it, we can also try to help violence out of the ghetto. A better understanding about something can cause you to open your mind to it.